Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to today. We're still working in the emotional zone of the body. The watery section just sits above the safety container, and which is a good place for it, because we need to make sure that we're in a place of safety before we get into that emotional area. I'm just paying attention to my iPad on the sidelines here because when I schedule a reminder for the live, I usually can turn off it to manual Facebook Live, but it wouldn't let me, so it's trying to go Facebook Live at the same time as me being live on my phone. So thank you for your patience with me and my added learning to my technology vortex, and which is exciting. So today I thought we'd talk a little bit about language. Language has such an effect on our psyche, our beingness. So yesterday we talked about trust and going inwards and creating that inner trust and taking our power back to know that we are enough and that we do know enough, and that sometimes by being giving our power to somebody else to our decision making, we're losing that part of our power, which in essence diminishes our essence. So there was a gentleman that I studied with years and years and years ago, and probably the early 90s, maybe late 90s, Michael Lavoisier, and he wrote a book on a law of attraction. And so we'll cover just a snippet of some of the words that he says not to use, not to use, but words that there are better options to use. So, and another part of that is I find that in the world today, because we are stepping into this oneness, which I totally embrace, we are all one, but it's still important to talk from the I point as opposed to the we point, or, people may be in conversation and say, well, it's important that we all follow the social distancing rules of the World Health Organization. And but it's way more effective and way more grounding for you to say, it is so important that I follow the World Health Organization social distancing policies at this time. See the difference? We don't need to dictate to other people. We just need to dictate, if we choose, to ourselves. And then saying, there's a whole whack of people not following social distancing. Well, those whacks of people may be in their own eye and saying, I need to be outside today. It might be their first time they've been outside in a month, but for mental health, perhaps they said to themselves, I need to be outside today. So it allows us to take our power back. So I have this little tiny owl, that was gifted to me by a dear friend who we've taken some courses together, Lucy. And she gave me this little owl, and I keep it in the kitchen because myself and my kids have also participated in a series of courses called the Excellence Seminars International. And they're actually offering a course online for $195 if you're interested, called Reset. It's the first time they've ever offered an online course, but they're doing it due to the coronavirus pandemic. And it's if you want a place to, when I took it, it was called the Pursuit of Excellence. Now it's called Reset. And I took it personally for myself back in the early 2000s because I needed to identify the D in Deborah. And so if that's something that interests you, I put that out there. So, and if you need more information, just DM me, send direct message, and I can follow up with that information for you. But it was really a great environment where I really learned to speak from the I place. And also in Reset, you learn to figure out what your top driving needs are for a term that you would crawl over broken glass for to meet, both destructively and constructively, and learning how to find those, identify those, and meet them constructively every day. Now, speaking from the I place, so that little owl, we'll be in the kitchen and we'll be talking and we'll go, who, for the owl, because somebody slipped into talking into we. So that's a nice little thing to maybe take into the next couple of days of your life to incorporate. Where are you speaking from the we place, and practice speaking from the I place. And it's not a place from speaking from ego, because some people may say, well, you're always talking about, now you've gone on this I trip, but you might go this way on that I trip and then come back up, but it's a really great way to incorporate it into your lives. There's 3 words that Michael Lavoisier introduces into his book called The Law of Attraction, and they are don't, not, and no. And his preface is there's no reason to speak those words, because the law of attraction, if we're talking from a place of don't, then we're going to attract that place of don't. And same with not. I'm not interested. Well, what are you interested in? I'm more interested in going for dinner than cooking at home. I'm not interested in cooking at home today. So it gives you, puts you on the path to talking more clearly about what it is that you want. And therefore, it also allows that vibration to be higher. And we want to be in that higher vibration, that higher consciousness, speaking from that higher self. And that has an effect on our emotions. And because if we're always talking from a place of don't, not, know, then when do we get to speak? When do we get to talk from the place of what's most important to us? What is it that we want in this moment in time? Being in that present moment. Hi, Sohal. Nice to have you here. So it allows us to do what do I want? And then we get to hold that vibration at that given moment in time. Now, another place that I really see increasing, and it's really interesting, is swearing. And do you ever find yourself that if you're in an environment where people are swearing, you'll start to swear in your conversation more frequently? And you kind of go, wow. Or you'll be in an environment where adults, grown adults, leaders in our community are actively swearing. So I think it falls in the rule of the don't, not, know. Like, why? What is the purpose of using those words in your communication? Where do you think that they add value? Do you think they add a higher vibration to your higher self? Or do you think maybe they might add a lower vibration to your lower vital? What are we feeding when we speak? And that's a really great question to ask ourselves, to ask yourself. When you speak in the next couple of days, think about really what's coming out of your mouth. And ask yourself, as you're building this inner trust, is this my truth? Is it my truth? And if it's not, you know what? You can easily open your mouth and say, actually, you know what? That's not my truth. My truth is. And I've done that frequently. Actually, you know what? I don't know where that spouted just out of my mouth. That's not my truth. My truth is. So there's just a few things that when we speak about language, when we are speaking language, to be more, to heighten our awareness, which is heightening our consciousness, into what we actually want to verbalize. Because even if it's a thought, it's already out in the field. And if it's coming out of our mouth, it's a bigger ripple. Because there's a saying is that often we speak words that we can never retract. And sometimes we have regret. And then that creates an emotion. And then that emotion creates our health. You see how it's one big happy family, one big circle of vibration. And it does go out to our family. It goes into our family field. It goes into our global field. So everything that we do, every moment of every single day has a supporting factor to our overall global environment. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? And when we tap into something like mantras, we're tapping into that collective of that mantra. And that's that vibratory resonance that we receive back. That's why I love the mantra Soham. There's another mantra, the Gayatri mantra, and it's also very powerful. There's a many beautiful mantras that in time we can explore. But Soham was something that was really simple and so powerful that I thought was a great introduction to what we needed right in this moment. So let's take our feet and plant them on the floor. Let's go into our outro. Let's go into our mantra meditation. I hoped I had some insight and foresight for you for language. And I hope you rise to the challenge and take a look at the next as you move forward. Another really crazy thing that we used to do when we were introducing this language, this elastic band is a little tight. You don't want it this tight to cut off the circulation. But when we would use language that we were choosing to take out of our vocabulary, and I would catch myself, or you would catch yourself. Guess what you do? You snap it, because for some silly reason we react better to a little pain. It's just the way that we've somehow become accustomed to. We want to take that out of the collective as well. But and it's a little cray cray. But you know, I invite you to join me in my cray cray. So when you use when I may be more appropriate and more trusting for yourself, you can just go or not, or don't, or no. Anyways, but don't do it for long. You might just want to try it once just to get the body say, this is our new project. Anyways, feet on the floor. Let's go down into Mother Earth. Let's allow those etheric feet and that tree roots to go down into the central core of the earth. Nice clearing breath. And let's check in with our breath, see where our breath is in our body. Bring it down into the lower abdomen. Allow it to be nice and smooth on the inhale and smooth on the exhale. And introduce the word so on the inhalation, if you're going to use the so hum, and hum on the exhalation. Allow it to become a little deeper on the inhalation and a little longer on the exhalation. Let's go back and check in with our feet and see if it's down at the core of the earth, and wrap those etheric feet, those tree roots around the central core of the earth, and give permission to bring up that earth energy, up, 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 just as it went down, and then reach the full foot, the bottom of your full foot, and allow that beautiful Mother Earth energy to come into the body. Turn on all your sensories. Allow that Mother Earth energy to come up into the thighs and the hips. into the torso. Nice deep breath in, engaging that four-pointed breath if you're there. 1, 2, 3 to the sides. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Massaging all those organs with this breath. Coming up into the heart, chest area. That Mother Earth energy and into the shoulders. Allow it to wash all the stress off. Removing the stress allows us to decrease inflammation. It allows us to boost immunity. It's a health booster. It's our main health booster. Allow that Mother Earth energy to go into the hands. Feel it. What's your senses today? What are you feeling? What are you noticing today? Breathe it up into the throat. Allow it to fill the throat and into the head. Out the crown and over the exterior of the body like a waterfall of Mother Earth energy. And checking in with that and feeling that sensation within the body. What do your feet feel like? It's like my feet are like heavy, really heavy. Do you feel grounded? And come up with a word for this so that if you're in any given situation, it's going to be like riding a bike or driving a car. It's just going to be there. And let's do that centering where we center into the body, into the Sushumna. Moving a little bit, feeling that connection and taking that hara line from the center of the earth up through the center of the body and into the universe, to source, creator, higher self, past our solar system, into our galaxy, into the cosmos, a straight line. And allow this beautiful, what's usually depicted like a gold and white light energy that travels, cascades down this fine line and enters into the body through the crown. This beautiful healing light. Also, when we're walking through our body and we're finding different areas, this is a beautiful energy to breathe in for healing energy. So imagine this gold and white light flooding the body. This beautiful, vast ocean of golden white light. I often see it as sparkly. It's like almost effervescent. It's tingly and it's sparkly and it's healing into the torso region, into the hips, into the legs. Feel these two energies. You can check in and ask for guidance in the language that you use today. Ask for support. The other worldly areas that are within and around and part of our environments are here, and many, are here for you with full unconditional love. So feel free to ask for guidance and support from those that love you completely unconditionally. That would be a good boundary to put up when working in other realms or guides or spirits that we have passed, that we feel that are part of our relational background or lineage, that are here to work with us. The boundary of loving me, loving you, and fully and completely, unconditionally, for the highest and greatest good of me, of you, or better. I always like to add or better, because it's an infinite universe. So let's take a moment of silence. I'm not going to introduce any sound today. We'll just sit in the silence. I so love that you're here with me. Thank you. My name's Deborah O'Neill. and CEO and founder of BlissBee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. My vow is to co-create heaven on earth for all living things with exponential, global, universal, and cosmic healing. Thank you for being on my journey with me. Replays are available. Today the talk was on language and how we may want to look at that as we move forward in our days ahead together and with your family. Breathing in, so exhaling, hum. Tapping into the wisdom of that mantra and its collective field and its higher resonance. I would love for you to let me know the value that you receive. And if there's any areas that are of interest to you or something that you don't quite get. And for those that have sent me messages, I so appreciate it. Thank you. Invite in your truth. Sit in your truth. Write out your truth. Journal your truth. Speak your truth. Our little love card for today, the offering. You are on the right path. And if you're here and you're watching this, there's no, it's no mistake. So thank you. Thank you for being here because you are on the right path. And it's all a part of a much bigger path. So lean into the truth of you today with all the people that you may have the opportunity to touch. And speak your truth. And if it's not your truth, say, hey, you know what? I'm practicing speaking my truth, and what I just said isn't my truth. Step into you. You matter. Find your power. Bring it back. Trust yourself. Make it a great day.